Alright, we're back at another episode of Dave's Videos. Alright, last week I taught you how to antique a photo. This week I'm going to do a short little piece on how you can use that in video to make a video transition here. Okay, we're going to do it with a short little video. This is from Rila Monastery in Bulgaria. Kind of pretty, huh? Alright, I'm going to show you how to antique the photo and then fade it into a full color pan that goes across this. Okay, so we're working with a photo. What's the first thing we do? Yes, of course, Control J, boink, jump. You see that over there. All of a sudden we have another layer. Very nice. Now, can anybody tell me what the problem is here? Well, let's take a look down here at the timeline. We have the two layers, but they're kind of side by side. We're not going to be able to do anything useful with that yet. So what we're going to have to do, see over here we've got video group. We're going to have to create another group. Boink. Okay, whoops, hang on here. Control Z, always your friend. All right, we're on video group. We have that active. We create another group. We drag the layer. Okay, now we have two of them. Okay, over here, take a look at this. Twirl it down. Now we see, yes, we've got two video groups. Yay! Identical. Now you drag it too far, all of a sudden it starts looking weird. We don't like that. We don't like things that look weird. Now, we've got them both aligned fairly well. You know how you tell? Turn one off. No difference. Wow, what a shock. Okay. What we're going to do next is we're going to go through all that rigmarole with the adding layer styles and adjustment layers. So the first one we're going to add is, of course, yes, black and white. Here we go. Black and white. Wow, the picture changed to black and white. Yes. Okay. Next one we do. Everybody sing along with it. What would it be? Yes. Color balance. Okay. So, remember, go to the highlights first. Crank the yellows to about 75. Crank the reds to about 25. You start getting that nice antique look there. Then you go to the shadows. Crank up the blues. Crank up the reds a little bit there. Let's bring up the shadows. Make it look kind of grubby. Alright, and then we'll go to the midtones and go for the cyan. Taste. Okay, looks pretty good there. Alright, collapse that panel. Next, we're going to throw on the curves layer. Remember what the curves do? Yes, you do. Don't lie to me. Alright, click here, raise it up, see what happens. All of a sudden your highlights start going up. So we want to make it a little bit more contrasty. And then we want to crunch the shadows a little bit. Okay, looking good. Not too bad. Alright, so one of the errors I made last week, amongst the errors I made last week, was I thought that we could do the scratches and the antiquing look from the filters. I will show you another method here. Now, how am I going to do this, you ask? Why, over here in the other tab I conveniently have Dust and Scratches. Yes, it's a dusty and scratchy, nasty piece. You can find them all over the internet. Look for dirty paper, dust and scratches, things like that. All you do is hit Control A, Control C. You have it copied. You go back to your original composition here. You hit Control V. Hey, there it is! On its own layer. Got stuck in there. Wait a minute. It's too small. Well, we can fix that. Click, drag, make it full frame. Click, drag, make it full frame. Accept that. Hey Dave, you say. But wait, we cannot see the photo through it. This is where blend modes come in. Here it says normal. We're going to go down to screen. Take a look at that. Now it looks all old and nasty and all effed up. It's a little bit too much though, so we're going to go to opacity and we're going to take it down a little bit so we still get that really antique-y, gnarly look that we kind of want there. Alright, cool, about 54%. That looks like an old photo that got stuck in your aunt's trunk for half a century. Now what we're going to do is that we are going to animate this. Remember what I told you about keyframes, okay? Check it out. If we have it now, the effect goes for the entire time. That's not what we want, and it's rendering. And if you can hear in the background, the fans on my video card are just going bananas. Okay, so that's not what we want. We want to be able to see this beautiful green colored scene here, okay? So, how are we going to do this? Remember I talked about keyframes. This is what we're going to be doing, okay? This layer here, going to be fine. This layer here, this is the one that we're going to animate. We're going to be doing opacity. Right here, we want the opacity to be basically, say, 0. Huh. Look at that. Okay. Let's go back to here. Click this little diamond there. That says put in a keyframe. Okay, see? Little gold diamond there just appeared. Okay? So here, we're going to go to the opacity and we're going to go to 100%. And actually, that's about 80%. Come on, give me a little bit more opacity. Okay, about 100%. Okay. Now look what happens here when I play this. Yeah. Looking around, looks pretty gnarly. And eventually we start to see that slow fade and the effect goes away. And now we're back to this charming medieval landscape. Okay. Everybody get that? Now that's a little bit slow. We want things to move a little bit faster here. So, there we go. We're just going to move the keyframe a little bit closer and then also take a look when I'm playing this. The whole dust and scratches thing. There we go. It was over the lens. It just made it look like the lens was dirty, which really wasn't the look that we were looking for. Okay? Anyway, now we have this wonderful little pan from old to new all in one. Okay? All right. What's next, you might ask? As well you should. We are now going to be doing exporting. Okay? Export. Render video. Okay? Now, in this case, I'm going to be using the Adobe Media Encoder. See right here? If it's not on your computer, you might have to do the Photoshop image sequence, but usually you will have the Adobe Media Encoder. Okay? Alright, so format H.264, you guys are probably familiar with that. Under the drop-down for quality, I would say for just about anything you're going to put on the web, 720p should be good enough. Let's try Vimeo, since I'll put this up on Vimeo here. 29 frames per second, all frames. Okay. And we'll call this Rila Monastery. And then we are going to render this little rascal, and we will take a look and see what it looks like. Okay? Alright, we'll pause for a second. Kind of like baking on the show, I just don't want to push my video card too hard. Recording all of this stuff and rendering video at the same time, I think it might give my computer a nervous breakdown. Okay, it's rendered. The progress bar up above. Basically, all 8 cores of my machine were just completely pinned, so probably was a good idea. I wasn't recording during that. Also, it was dead boring, just watching a little progress bar crawl along. Anyway, here we are now. And it's an MP4 format, and as we see, it goes from the first frame all the way through to this charming little mountain scene. Okay? Everybody got that? Now you can basically do any sort of effects you want using this technique. Duplicating a layer, doing it on the layer that you've duplicated, and then fading from that layer to the one underneath. That's basically how you can do it in Photoshop. What we're going to do next is going to be a lot more challenging with 3D. Okay, but stick with us. You can come out on the other side of this being able to do something really special, okay?